You know that you're on a slight angle?
Yes.
You're listening to the Go Lightly Martial Hour on freedomtalkradio.net. freedomtalkradio.net.
Hello. You there, babe? Yeah, I was out in the kitchen. I asked him to get the pinhole glasses. These, I am wearing pinhole glasses. We got 10 of these from China, $1 each and postage included. They really work though. Eyesight, I'll upload a PDF. I paid for it. But none of us should be wearing glasses, and our eyes are simply under-exercised, and doing certain exercises every day will restore your vision no matter how bad it is. But anyway, I haven't had time to do it because it is about half an hour of these exercises. I did one of the exercises once and immediately I could see clearer. We've been using these readers for years. I'll just go through the collection. Petra, darling, I'm sorry, honey, but last night they were sitting on my head when the frame just snapped. So there goes the from Europe, from Germany. Thank you, Petra. There goes the orange frames. But we've got lots of these. These ones, were these the ones that used to have the headlights in them?
Yeah, they got headlights, yeah.
No, it's not these ones, but very similar. There's those. Yeah. These are all readers. Here we go.
They've got headlights in them.
Oh, and do the headlights work?
Well, they were. I haven't used them, of course, because I don't need glasses.
Says he's sitting behind the camera with glasses on, but anyway, you get my drift.
Did you try both sides of switches, sir?
No, they haven't got. That's how much you don't need glasses. They don't have the headlights in them.
Yes, they do. Give them here.
There you go. Oh, wait on. I take it all back. Without the glasses on, couldn't see the headlight. Oh, is it?
One side.
But one side works. Okay, so that's the one with the headlights on. And
that's for reading in bed, see?
Yes, there you go. Look, all of these. What am I going to settle on today? These are the pinholes, and it's taken away all of the blur. It's simply eye exercises. So I will upload that, free information. I've already paid for it, whatever it was. Listen to the blurb, blah, blah, blah. And we all know it's a scam. It's a scam. Just as the allopathic medicine is a scam, so is the optometry industry. It's about exercising the eyes, and you can restore your vision no matter how bad it is. So, with that being said, what have you got to say, babe?
Not a lot.
And we all know when you say that.
Well, a few little points, I suppose, I could make.
All right, well.
We'll both be dead soon.
Oh, okay. Let's warn the listeners, the followers. What's going on?
Well, there is a final prophecy that we will be taken up.
Right.
And the ones that we've been tormenting will rejoice.
Give presents, exchange presents all over the earth.
Yeah, exchange presents and so forth. But that's fine. No worries. I've been up there a couple of times already. Right? It's a bit of a resort, really.
Yeah, well,
I really enjoy it.
I knew before. Let's see. Abby was 13. She was born in 89, so it was 2002.
Oh,
when her little friend, Amanda, was in the science lab. Now, Amanda, of Caucasian and Chinese mixed parents, Amanda didn't have a clue who Jesus was. And she was in our house for the weekend when I told her all about Jesus. So Amanda, oh, okay, thank you for telling me. Beautiful, beautiful girl. Just a glorious, sweet. Amanda passed a note to my daughter, Abby, in the science lab. And on the note, it said, I had a dream last night. In the dream, she said, your mother had disappeared. And you and I were in the living room, the house we were in, which is where she got to hear about you. You and I were in the living room when Jesus appeared to us and said, don't worry, your mother is with me. And then she said in the dream, he handed over a basket of, you've heard me talk about this before, the Adventures in Odyssey tapes, because my children were raised on those. And it's like, just keep watching these and don't worry about her, she's with me. And the implication was she'll be back. And Abby brought the piece of paper home and told me, and of course, in my own soul, I had been prepared for, I call it a 3-day, 3-night trip around the heavenly resort. It'll be like a rejuvenation. Detox for the rejuvenation. And then we come back and be breathing fire. Taking out the opposition, something like that. So be prepared. Oh dear, it's all fun. And I was just remembering too, when we went to New Guinea, now 7 years ago, our first trip there, you said to me, are you ready? Are you ready to go? And I go, anytime. What do we do? Jump off a cliff? And then in 2007, the interview that the angel Al had with me that lasted 3 hours, this marvellous time, 3 hours, and I called it the final interview. And of course it was about his stories that he'd been recording in his ancient book. And the last one was he was on a highway. Now I know that I'm talking with an angel, but in his stories he's walking a highway, and I immediately think of the highway of the redeemed. And he looks up, and in the distance he sees the Lord has come to take him home, and he's crying, and as I'm listening to him, I'm crying. So that's been forever with me, our purpose for being on, for me, of course, finding Yah. It's been this 7 years, which is perfection, and he's looking at himself in the mirror right now and wiggling his eyebrows. Anyway, bottom line is, people, just be prepared, and the world will rejoice at any bad news concerning us in their minds. However, just remember, God wins.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Oh, it's just like the first time. What is you'll be back? Do what you will, I'll be back. Alright, babe, so what have you got going on with...
Well, just a little bit, I guess. Let's have a go over to the computer and have a look. Do you want to come and read through it, darling, see if you can make any heads and tail of it?
I will, with my pinhole glasses on.
Basically, I got it set up for you to go from there. I'm a bit disappointed with two of you didn't show up.
Oh, you checked the mailbox? Nothing? No notice? Or no? You don't get that anymore.
No, it's just coming bang on the door, isn't it?
Yeah. Tell you what, I'm hot in here today. Can you turn the fan on a little please? I'm starting to perspire. Thank you.
While you're doing that, I'll go and lay down some.
Lay me down to sleep.
I'm very tired after that bloody trip to India.
Oh no.
Still haven't had a decent night's sleep.
It's spite of the. Anyway, here we go. The coming 4 blood moons.
I thought I'd finish off now because we might be going next week. So I better do it.
All right, there are the dates of them all. April the 15th, 2014, then the October the 8th, 2014. And the one in the middle, of course, is the eclipse we just went through, March the 20th, while we were at the Golden Tulip in India. And the upcoming, what's today, Wednesday, so 3 days away,
Just turn that a bit.
April the 4th, Saturday, days away, and then the final...
Did you move the computer?
No. Oh, did I? Maybe I
Yeah.
did. Probably did. Is it okay?
Set it all up again, hold on. Don't go swinging your little legs about like you're sitting in a high chair.
Okay, I'll try not to. Is it right?
Well, let's get close. That's it. Right, there you go.
Oh, and of
Right.
course the final one in the series, September the 28th, this year, 2015. Now, this is what God does. He measures his temple. The blood moon, April the 4th, 2015, maximum is 11:58 UTC time. The location of the moon, so this is the location, if you were to put a laser through the centre of the moon, through the centre of the earth, what spot would it go through the earth, is 5.28 degrees south by longitude 178.64 west. Measuring from that location, the distance to my birth location is 4449 kilometres. From 4450, which means to redden, be red, as in the colour of the red moon. The sun location, 5.68 north, which is can also be written as 5 degrees 40.800 minutes by 1.27 east, or can be written 1 degree 16.260 minutes. Then measuring to Tulip Close, Martha's house, my house, when I found here, is 4545.5 kilometres. And that is the number for the pyramid height in inches up to the rejected capstone. Moving right along. For the radio people, I'm reading the PowerPoint on the opposite side of the table. Now, the sun, 2228 nautical miles. So the sun location is 2228 nautical miles to the pyramid. See the sun location there. Western shore measuring back to the pyramid, and of course 22.28 years of age, which is 1162.6 weeks when Yah married Lucifer's choice, the harlot of Lithgow, Arlene Joyce Rosewarne. Her name, English Gematria 226, and is the Queen's chamber length, and it equals Sodom. Now here we have the sun distance. Is this the sun on two locations, babe? What have we got here? You've got this, from the sun on the west coast of Africa there.
Yeah, 2 locations on those 2 dates.
So we're talking about
before. We'll explain ourselves as you go.
Oh, okay, all right.
Just the number is important at the moment.
All right, so this is a distance between 2 sun locations, 1077 from 78, and its birthday ceremonies. Happy birthday to you. But more than that, it's the completed, it's the diagonal of the Great Pyramid with the capstone in place. Now, in miles, the sun-moon distance the distance between the locations of the sun and the moon, is 12409. 124 from 119 is redness. And we're talking about a red moon. So April 4th, 2015, 11:58 UTC equals 718 minutes. Greek 718 from 719. To woo, to betroth, espouse. Hebrew is behold. The totality of 5 minutes only is Greek for Abba. Abba, the Father. The number for Michael the Archangel, 3413, when multiplied 3 times 4 times 1 times 3, equals 36, being 36 hours in the tomb until resurrection. We've got 3 times 4 times 13, the number of the unusual chromosomes in Yah's blood, equals 156. The square root of 156 is 12.48999. Now in Hebrew, the 1248 is borrowed as a title from 1247 and is the heir apparent to the throne, as in son. The 999, corresponding to 998, is knowledge. And I'll just, in the lead up to my finding Yah, because that was my purpose, I had to find him, and the angels were giving me blues clues all along the way. They were putting the 999 in front of me all over the place. Every time I turned around, it was 9, and I knew it had to do with about a designated moment in time. It was all kinds of things. Okay, but it's knowledge. In the next slide, UTC time London, maximum eclipse will occur at 2:47 a.m. This is for September the 28th. So we skipped ahead in time to the final in the series of the blood moon, September the 28th, 2015, when Yah will be 71.717629 years old. 717 in Greek is Armadima. Armadima. Hey, that's a great combination. An Armadima. Hello, a new word. 717. I do have my pinhole glasses on and I can see quite clearly. Anyway, Armageddon is 717 and 629 is Redeemer, but we've got Armadima happening. Could be a song. Oh, this is directal above the... directly. The Y is missing. It's all right. This is directly above the Redeemer statue. So this is where this is all occurring, above the Redeemer statue. This is on the 28th of September. In Rio is 9995 miles to my home. Again, the corresponding to knowledge is, to 998 rather, and is the word knowledge. Here we go. Oh, rather marvellous. Now the sun directly over Australia, 2104 nautical miles to Yah's rebirth home, 2104 from 2095 and 1096 is well born. Well done, well born. Then measuring from where the sun is above Australia to Yah's rebirth location, 105 Rothschild Avenue, Rosebery, Sydney, Australia, just happens to measure 2424 miles. And what is 2424? Well, if you look up the Greek concordance of the James Strong's dictionary of the King James Version, 1611 Bible, look up the number 2424 and you will find Jesus right beside it. So it's the listing number for Jesus. And then, of course, you've got New Zealand below Australia, which measures 888, which is the Greek gematria for Jesus, between the two latitudes that New Zealand lies. Now, from the sun to the blood moon, so this is all on the 28th, is it? We're still on the 28th of September. Okay. Now, from the sun to the blood moon, the pyramid diagonal number is 1077 or 10779.2 nautical miles. Again, Greek 1077, birthday ceremonies. Birthday. From the sun to the blood moon to the birth home, the three sides total 20081 miles.
It's going down to the Redeemer statue, by the way.
Right, okay. Glad you explained that. Miles of, it contains an area of square miles of 10,674,913 square miles.
Well, 4913 is Marshall,
Yes,
and the 1067 is firstborn.
right,
Or firstborn son, right? That's it.
yes.
So you've got the Redeemer statue, which I haven't put in there,
Mm.
and pretty spectacular stuff.
All in a morning's work. So now we've got from April the 4th to September the 28th, blood moon position is a distance. Okay, here we go. Measuring of 8078. So we've got blood moons occurring April the 4th, 177 days later, September 28th. So the position between them is a distance of 8078 nautical miles. Hebrew is astonishment from 8074. But from the sun positions on these same dates, the distance is also the same, 8078. From moon to moon, sun to sun, it's also the same, 8078. Yeah, I was doing this
That's right,
this
so
morning.
the 4th and the 28th.
That's right. So Yah was looking and going, I've got to do this over. He did it over and over and over. And,
Well, I can't be wrong, so you're me. Like, but I'm very, very tired at this moment. It's possible to make a
to be wrong.
eh?
To be wrong.
wrong. It's just hard to say, isn't it? Well, I don't think so.
All right.
I only made 10 mistakes in my life.
Yes, we know that,
I
babe.
said I'd do it twice.
All right, now we're moving along to the next slide. We've got sun on April the 4th to September the 28th. Sun to sun is 8078 nautical miles. The moon, April the 4th to the moon position, September the 28th, is also 8078 nautical miles. Then you've got the moon on April the 4th to the sun on April the 4th is 1077 plus the bits nautical miles. And then you've got the moon September the 28th to the sun September the 28th is also 1077 plus the bits nautical miles. And then you've got the sun to the rebirth home on the 28th equals 2424 miles. And with that, it deserves a hail and hearty hello. I booked my flight last night and chose the seat. It ended up being 21D, which is 214, which in Greek...
Oh, brass size.
No, 21D.
That's a shame.
214 in Greek is from the... and it's another hello. Hello. There we go, there's the slide. Both moon positions are the exact same distances, 10778 nautical miles apart, and sun to sun are the same at 8078 nautical miles. And Yar is demonstrating further. Sun, September, that should read 2015 up the top there. September 28th, that is as it does below it.
Yes, typo, tired. Anyhow, that's it. I got to clean it up, so we wanted to get it done for the show, but I was too buggered to...
Here we go, we've got
Go
the
on.
Marshall and the Go Lightly shields on the screen. Go Lightly motto, hitherto invincible. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Alright, I'll move back to the other side of the table. Oh, we going? Still? Oh. Hitherto invincible. Go Lightly, the Rome Lions, of course. And there he is. By the Red Sea at Hurghada, Shroud of Turin on the left, Yah on the right, and then the shroud superimposed over his image today because he is the image of the Shroud of Turin. I'll move back to the other side of the desk.
Okay. So I've got to clean it up. I'll probably do another when I get some energy. Did that again because I see a few typos and stuff like that. I don't want to confuse you. But this is what can happen.
And I've moved back to the other side of the table and somebody, the Austin Show, can we call via iPhone?
Who?
The Austin Show. Actually, I don't know if you can. No. Can you hear me, the Austin Show? You can't call because we haven't got it set up that way. You can leave a message and then we can organise another day to call.
Well, we'll just do it now. What's the phone number?
We can't.
We'll let her give you a phone number.
Through the... Well, we could call...
Call your mobile.
All right, Austin Show, can you call my mobile? Can you call my mobile number? It is, what is it? 6174. There we go.
We'll let them give us a number to call. Who's the Austin Show now?
I don't know. I don't know who the Austin Show is. I'm just used to our guys that we recognise. Or we could do Skype. Can you open up your Skype on your...
I can.
Okay. Or we could call our Skype on... to open it. Okay. Alright. So that was 9 minutes ago. Well, how about that?
Yeah, there's Skype's opening. So
You've got Skype opening? Okay. Alright. So, yes, the Austin Show.
Auction Show.
No, Austin, as in Austin,
Texas.
Texas. Austin, Texas, yes.
Alright.
Let's see what happens there. In the meantime, what was interesting this morning, just reading about what is going on in the world of BS, the one that I did enjoy reading about was the man who has been running the homeless shelter in Hollywood for years. It's been an eyesore and they've tried to get rid of him and the people for years, and they bought him out for $5 million, apparently the building and the blocks around that he does own as well. And he bought a former Howard Johnson, now that's interesting, former Howard Johnson hotel in Florida, 125 rooms, and he is moving. It's already happened days ago. He organised
there was a Howard Johnson that did invent a magnetic motor.
Yes.
Whether it's the same one, I don't know.
Right. I say it's interesting because a Howard Johnson hotel was something I filled out on a landing card when I really wasn't staying anywhere. It was just a grab in the dark. And as we hopped in the, this is when I was looking for you, one of those trips, we were in Colorado. We'd left BC, we're now in Colorado, going with the flow. I'd organised a rental car, you know, always the lowest economy one. And then when I got there, the guy wanted to upgrade us to a silver PT Cruiser. And it was sitting in J Row. We had to pick it up, and I'm going, oh yeah, right. all these parallels. And so we're riding along and I'm driving the PT Cruiser picked up from J Row. And we didn't have a plan. It was like go with the flow. We ended up taking Highway 34 away from the airport. And didn't even know where we were. I think we were heading west. Somebody can check. I'm wondering, you know. And we ended up our first meal at a Howard Johnson Plaza kind of thing. Anyway, it was there. that again, all the Blue's Clues come in, and the placement, it was all about following the clues. So the fact that this guy has housed these people, his name is Sean Connor somebody, but anyway, he's been doing it for years, a saint, looking after the untouchables as far as American society goes. Shifted them all to a former Howard Johnson hotel that has a chapel, has a swimming pool, has its own laundry and restaurant, etc., etc., etc. And his last words to the crew as they're on the bus: "This ride is going to be hell for you. You are not able to smoke for the 4 hours that you're in the bus." And his last words were, "Be nice." It was a good story. Anyway, let's get back to So you're open. So are you watching on your Skype to see if anybody's...
I've got Skype open.
Okay.
What are we looking for?
Well, they'll come in. Our Skype is open. Our Skype is open. Right,
That's Ashra Yahweh, is it?
Yeah, Ashra.Yahweh too. See if anybody there from the Austin show tries to...
What does he want, or does she want us to do? Ring them?
No, they've just said, can we call via iPhone?
Well, we've got a mobile phone.
Yeah, well, I've given them the phone number. If you can get through, yes. Also the...
Where is the phone?
Right here, right beside the speaker.
All charged up?
Yes, it's all good. Yep. Alright, so we're just waiting for that to kick in if it does. And yeah, this going live is pretty cool. Getting out of our routine of not having a routine and falling into the routine now of going live. It's a bit more exciting, isn't it, than just ourselves?
Pretty arithmetic to keep up with all the calculations.
I know. You're constantly thinking about them. And is the reason why he doesn't fall asleep a lot of the time. He's thinking, measuring his
well, I mean, the 4 blood moons are so important. And I can go back in time to do the other ones too, which I will do, but they will have similar type of revelations.
Yes. Okay. Well, this is...
Like 247, for example, if you do that minutes, 167 minutes. And that's John 16:7, Comforter.
The Comforter.
And stuff like that. I mean, I got all this stuff buzzing through my head like a bloody... it's undescribable. It's coming from all directions. And to focus on one and also focus on the others at a lesser degree, so they can pull them up and push them into a position of sequence. And this is how it is. I get maybe 20 or 30 at a time of bits of information, either in memories or new nudges from the angelic realm or something like that. So it's very, very time consuming, very, very tiring. So dealing on the human level, see? So the mind is not. The mind can go wherever it needs to be. And this is what I do all the time. But that cuts into the sleep. With 2 nights in a row, I've taken a handful of sleep until nothing happens.
Yes, and they're supposed to be the 89% coming back with great feedback. It's Zissifar, an extract from ginseng and other things, which does the opposite of what ginseng is supposed to do, which is a stimulant. They've had great success with people reporting how well they've been sleeping, and you haven't got there yet.
No.
I think we'll have to go back to the cup of warm milk idea.
As well.
Also, now, what is interesting too, again, I read this. Now, we should try this. It makes sense. Somebody sent an article around for insomnia is the mix of 5-to-1, 1 tablespoon of a good sea salt with 5 tablespoons of sugar. I would use a coconut sugar just because it's a whole lot better. And they do say a quality sugar. You need the sugars.
5 tablespoons?
Yeah, well, it's the ratio of 5 to, and it's just having that in a jar, and then if you can't get to sleep, they say by dipping into the jar, so you've just got some dust on the end of your finger, place it under the tongue and it will dissolve.
Fair enough, we try that.
And it's about the electrical circuitry.
That's true.
And so we'll try that.
Salt's a great conductor, right?
Since the stuff that we paid $26 for doesn't work, we'll go into the kitchen and report back about the coconut sugar and salt. Now, I still don't know if anything's going to happen with the Austin show, if you can hear us. But we're just here for the next 25 minutes because that's how much we've got to get through. Now, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Because otherwise we're going to just play you singing or something to fill in time, because I'm beyond it.
In the event that we get taken up,
right?
What will happen is we've got to knock over the hell on earth, which is far worse than anything you can imagine. This is Bangladesh and India, and all these people are sick people. And we got a very strong sign by our last position in India, being 5624 nautical miles to my birthplace, right? And right next door is the diabetes, dengue fever hospital.
Yeah, the right? Delhi CDC.
Well, what I had intended to do was organise some business people and have them distribute bottles of water with either a package of powder or the powder already in it, which is the calcium hypochlorite, which they're trying to ban in Germany, right? So either give it to the little people that can't afford it, or let them show up with their own bottle and put the powder in the bottle for them, right? And let the mother cook with that, or give it to the children and the family, and whatever they've got over a period of 2 or 3 weeks of bottles, free bottles, that they drink from. Now, it doesn't really matter if the water they've got is not as pure as you think it should be, because the calcium hypochlorite will knock it all out anyhow. And they say, oh, some of the areas up there, they've got fluoride in it. Well, they've been drinking it for 30 bloody years, right? One bottle with calcium hypochlorite in it ain't going to make no damn difference if they've got fluoride in it. Because they're going to drink it anyhow, right? But it will kill every known disease. Right? And this is the biggie. So this is what I had intended with Pope Benedict, and to introduce all of the churches in India to be health centres and work centres, welfare centres, so forth, and have
every
the Vatican, of course, print its own money. Now, the money that I will print will be based on what I say it's worth, not what some Jew says is worth because of some trade on the stock market, right? Or some commercial bond that the, let's say Australia. I mean, you know, Australia's dollar's down right now against the American dollar. And the American dollar's worth nothing. The Australian dollar
is worth less than nothing.
it is the most valuable currency on the planet. If you're out there and you've got some money to spare, put it into Australian dollars at the moment, because they'll come back up. But basically, Australia is the richest country on earth.
It is.
There's no other country comes near it for value. So therefore, you could do it this way. Let's say you want to run a currency and you want to do it, say, in an economic way that fits in with the past economics of the bullshit world. You can say, all right, we'll borrow the money. Where from? From the future. From the future gross national product that comes out of Australia when the population reaches 100 million. Right? How much are we going to be worth? Right? Pump it out all over Australia, because we're going to own it. Right? No more with this bloody government bullshit in Canberra. Right? It'll be mine. So I say this is what the value of the currency is, and we will supply the currency for the world. Because it's based on the resources in the ground. Simple as that.
Yes.
So no economist will want to go along with that because it defies the Jewish economy. Well, to hell with the Jewish economy. It's not going to be the Jewish economy. The whole thing is totally asinine to my way of thinking, that the Western world has allowed a Jewish bullshit economy to invent a bullshit Old Testament Torah to dominate all the prophets and all the Jesus, and then have another one come in from behind, which is the Pauline epistles, which is another Jewish bullshit prophecy. Right? So I've said to the Pope, with the Gospels, as I said to our new man in St. Michael's,
Shimla.
and similar, that we're only going to use the Gospels and Isaiah and the prophets to teach in the churches. No Paul, no Torah. If you've got to delve into anything old, if you want to go into the Genesis, okay, but be very careful of it. I would say keep away from it, right? Because it's full of bullshit. I mean, it's not the oldest book. The oldest book in the Bible is Job.
Job.
Right? So the most accurate is Isaiah. So that'll do you, Isaiah in the New Testament.
I think
excluding Paul.
People are really getting a grasp of just what damage, and it's the knowledge removed that you warned, you accused them of before you went to the cross. The knowledge that they keep for themselves, so that, well, first of all, they will not enter in, but they prevent others from entering into the kingdom. No, they can't. But that knowledge, of course, was about resurrection is reincarnation, as Jesus, he taught much. And the conversation with Nicodemus. Actually, I could read that through its entirety if I can find the hard copy of it here. One of our documents prepared for Frank Bainimarama. Oh, here it is, right underneath my feet. I'll read the more accurate Aramaic conversation that, as Jesus, he had with Nicodemus. And you can see how essential was the knowledge of resurrection being reincarnation. And by removing it from the knowledge of the people, you have the deluded Christian world rejecting.
Now, before you read that, I'll just recap on India. There they have all these reincarnations, and the Buddhists, they've added a little bit more to it, that you can come back as a cockroach. But the original Hindu had you reincarnating, and then, of course, that was added to over time. Well, all these different wise men come along and really stuff things up. And basically, what you have is a reincarnation 7 times. Now they've stretched it out to 447,000. Now,
can you imagine?
If you're laying on the side of the road and you're starving and you've got a couple of little kids with you and they've got dengue fever or whatever, no one's going to help you, because the reason is that you've been a naughty person in the past life. And your little naughty children, they've been naughty people in the past life. So you're getting your reward because of karma. Right? The karma is absolute bullshit. Right? You just get another chance to get it right. So what they do is they allow people to live this horrible existence in India because of their karma. Well, they have no comforter. Well, we're bringing a comforter to them, where a little child, it doesn't matter to me what their karma is, what they were in a past life, I don't care. It's what they are in this life is important. And we're going to save them from the clutches of the devil that's in charge of India.
Alright, so this is part of the document here. This is a genuine Fiji, their own village level mashed paper, if you like, and this twine is made from the fibres of coconut. But we prepared this document, 2 of them exactly the same, information for Frank Bainimarama, and it was Major Rokaura, his right-hand man, who met with us at the airport as Frank was returning from China. This was in November 2010. And part of it is, after the discourse on the shroud, the measurements, the numbers that you are all familiar with, the ghost emerging from the shroud is an old man. This is the summary. With short moustache and hair, the rear of the head shows long hair, as Jesus was an Essene, and as Essenes they never cut their hair, while the face of the soul of Jesus, being the Father, is what was left on the outside of the shroud, and then it goes into the numbers that prove all things. Reincarnation removed from the Bible. The facts are, I spoke plainly about reincarnation, making a reference to Job. When we read Job, it is missing. Likewise, Nicodemus had no knowledge of it. The following is a verse from the Aramaic Essene Gospel of the Holy 12, pertaining to the questions of Nicodemus, who came in the night fearing the Jews would kill him. Now, if you remember, what when Yah was taken back in the school playground on August the 30th, 1950, to 31st, 2424 days old, and he has described over and over for the world to hear what it was that he was seeing, feeling, touching, experiencing, and the message that his mother Mary gave to him as she calls him, Jesus, Jesus, come. So he runs up to her and, I'm tired, Mum, like looking up, what is it? Tall English woman, blue eyes, wearing black on the outside and a blue wimple-like veil underneath the black. And she looks down at him and says, I have something to tell you. And that was, if the Jews find out we are Essene, they will kill us. So this is supported, of course, by this text. Now, Yah was a 6-year-old boy. That's when he is the remnant of the seed of his mother, as in Daphne Golightly, who obeyed the commandments of God. When those commandments were started being given to him verbally, the voice of God, which is his voice today, speaking to him as a child who was just 4.84 years old, it was Prince Charles' birth date in 1968. So here's the remnant of the woman being Daphne Golightly, the woman of the Revelation, and he is the seed, the remnant of the seed, being the youngest child born to her, and it's the dragon, 1404, being the church, the Vatican, the beast, Lord, being preached by the deluded, the God of the Jews, who call themselves Jews and are not, which is actually Lucifer, barking orders to Moses. As Jesus, he says, no one has seen nor heard God. So that big X on Moses speaking to God right there. It's all a fabrication. So here it is from the Aramaic, and again, you must be very careful. People, when they are translating these documents, they all have their own particular bent. So, Yah knows what he said and what he didn't say, and who's who in the Zoom, that kind of thing. Number 4, and a certain rabbi, Nicodemus, came unto him by night for fear of the Jews, and said unto him, how can a man be born again when he is old? Can he enter a second time into his mother's womb and be born again? Great big question mark. Jesus answered, verily I say unto you, except a man be born again. Now hear this, because I know what's in the Christian world, in their Bible, and what they are thinking and how they misinterpret. Hear this, born of flesh, body, and of spirit, soul, in the body of flesh. Well, I'm going to cover what the Christians believe shortly, and is why every pastor, evangelist, preacher, teacher, priest on the planet has got it wrong about what born again means. Alright, so Jesus answers, verily I say unto you, except a man be born again of flesh and of spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and ye hear the sound thereof, but cannot tell whence it cometh or whither it goeth. He goes on to explain what he means. Number 6, the light shineth from the east even unto the west, out of the darkness. The sun, S-U-N, ariseth and goeth down into darkness again. So is it with man, from the ages unto the ages. Verse 7, when it cometh from the darkness, it is that he hath lived before. Christians out there, if there's any listening, we don't get too many of you. It is that he hath lived before. You have all lived before. And when it goeth down again into darkness, it is that he may rest for a little and thereafter exist again. And I just have to say that Yao looks so cool at the moment. He has put on the pinpoint. What is it?
I walked into the wall, you notice that?
The pinhole rather glasses. And he's looking really cool. All right, so did we get that? When it cometh from the darkness, it is that he hath lived before. And when it goeth down again into darkness, it is that he may rest for a little and thereafter exist again. Verse 8, so through many changes ye must be made perfect. As it is written in the book of Job, I am a wanderer, changing place after place and house after house, until I come unto the city and mansion which is eternal. Now they're talking about a body of flesh which is eternal, because the soul has been made perfect and is then worn on the outside white, like a garment of pure white linen. I want to, there's more after this, but I just want to stress, because this information has been removed and you have the teachings of the devil Paul crapping on about the gospel of grace. Do you get it here? So through many changes must ye be made perfect. In other words, who does the perfecting of the soul? Is it Jesus? No. You. It's all on each one of us. Ye may be made perfect. The gospel of grace is a lie. He went to the cross to release his blood, which contained the soul of the Father, Yahweh. As Jesus, he said, if you've seen the Father, you've seen the Son. The Father and I are one. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. If you've seen the Father, you've seen me. We're all one, because it was his soul in Jesus that had to be spilled through the blood, releasing it, because at that time the blood contained the soul. Now the soul is worn over the body of flesh, God on the outside, no longer on the inside. So until I come unto the city and mansion which is eternal. So the soul reaches that state, and it's now. This is why it's called the end of times. It's the end of the resurrection times of the soul. God is impatient to get on with building paradise, and he sure as heck isn't waiting another 427,000 years for the Hindi to make it back to the Godhead, etc., etc., etc. Verse 9, and Nicodemus said unto him, how can these things be? And Jesus answered and said unto him, art thou a teacher in Israel, and understand not these things? Verily we speak that which we do know, and bear witness to that which we have seen, and ye receive not our witness. If I have told you of earthly things, and we believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? So it's talking about how it is that the soul, like the sun, rises and sets, etc. These are all heavenly things. No man hath ascended into heaven, but he that descended out of heaven, even the Son, daughter of man, which is in heaven. Heaven is a time. It's a time frame. Heaven comes to the earth when God, who is on the earth, builds his kingdom, and all heaven is poured out upon the earth, meaning the souls who've been kept in abeyance. Now, to give you an example of how the King James Version, for example, the New Testament, omissions become obvious to remove the knowledge from the psyche of the reader. So just quoting the 7 verses, not the 10, that people are left to deal with. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Jesus by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God, for no man can do these miracles that thou doest except God be with him. Number 3, Jesus answers and said unto him. Now, I want you to get it here because the question wasn't even asked. But get a load of this. It says, verse 3, Jesus answered him. Answered him what? There was no question. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. And then verse 4, Nicodemus, who hasn't even asked the question, says, Nicodemus saith unto him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Question mark. And then 5, Jesus is supposed to have said, Jesus answered, verily, verily, I say unto thee. Now, get a note of the word change. This is really important. Except a man be born of water. Hello. Previous one was flesh, body, flesh. Water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God. Then he goes on, that which is born of the flesh is flesh. It's not what he said earlier. That which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Hello. Marvel not that I said unto thee, ye must be born again. Now, first of all, he's answering a question that wasn't asked. And second of all, by the time he's given an answer to a question that wasn't asked, has anything been made clearer to anybody? No. So what have you got today? You've got the Christian preachers, teachers, evangelists, all the rest of you must be born again. Come and pray the sinner's prayer. You must be born of the water. And they equate the water being to the washing of the word spoken over them. Then everybody becomes clean in this life and they enter into the kingdom of God. That's not what it's all about. It's all about all are gathered on the judgment now because everybody has been reborn, gathered upon the earth for the judgment. This is the period of time that is the resurrection. He being the firstborn, he being the first to be resurrected, and all born after him of flesh and of the Spirit. In other words, they were conceived within the wombs of their mothers, who brought forth the saints of old, those that have been beheaded. Even before the revelation was given to John, it was all done and dusted then. Revelation was given to him on the Isle of Patmos in the year 96 AD, on the 96th day of the year. Why? Because it was the 63rd anniversary. Isaiah 63, hello, it's what it's all about. It was the 63rd anniversary of the resurrection, which occurred Australian time, April the 6th, 33 AD. April 6, 1943, 1910 years later. It's like walking through a veil at the resurrection. He walked into the future to be within the womb. Once again, the flesh and the spirit within the womb of his mother, this time known as not the Holy Virgin Mary, but Daphne Golightly, the most royal woman, the 12 stars representing the 12 tribes of Israel, the sun and the moon under her feet, etc., 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 he being the remnant. So, with that, we're out of time. And I still haven't heard from the Austin show. Anyway, perhaps we can all organise something another day. I hope that's made things a little clearer for those who have been muddling around in the dark. And that's what born again is. Resurrection. It was removed at the time of Constantine. He was battling 100 academics, crapping on about this, that and that, and finally he actually wanted to do the right thing by declaring all Rome Christian, because it was Pontius Pilate who was the friend of Jesus, and he was the one who prophetically spoke that before he went to the cross, after interviewing Jesus, and he loved him, he went out of his way to protect him for the 3 years, but of course, you know, Jesus baited them, much like he baits them now, saying what we say through the wonder of cyberspace. It's all to bait the same that crucified him then, because they're all back in the rulers of today. Jews that call themselves Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan, John 8:44. The sons of Cain, they're all back too. And of course, they've had 7 chances to get it right. Those who are righteous from the beginning are back here for the second time. And those that have had to come back up to 7 times, they're all on the odds too, and they have not learned to do the right thing, so evil has compounded. It's called compound interest. What did Einstein say?
Einstein's
favourite formula, compound interest, or compound evil, is back on the earth, and it's why it is so vile. They know that their days are short. It's all coming to a wonderful final wrap. Curtains, the final curtain call, etc. And yeah, so if Joel uploads a video about us dead, gone, whatever, well, you can rejoice because you know that we're back. The world will be rejoicing because they got rid of us. Anyway, it's all good. That's all I can say. It's all good. All good for the good. With that, I'm saying goodbye.
Meeting other people.
Goodbye. Sound of Music used to be my favourite movie until I realised it was propaganda. All right, later, Gators.